now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call,
Greetings, how you doing?
Hey, what's new in the zoo, Mr. Hinkson?
Well, I just did a masterpiece email to you. It's number 21. You need to send that to Mr. Broden. Send that and number 20. 20 and 21. I want him to read both of those.
Okay.
Good, you know.
All right, I will do that. And I need to let you know I got like 6 letters from you. I'm going to be up all night scanning and making sure they all get uploaded to the website. I hope I put them in the right order. I took my best guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a brief in there that was on both sides, I believe. And
yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. The very first page, I believe, is United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, and it's Knight versus America. That's what I'm assuming is the very, very first page, and then everything else is kind of ordered after that.
Here's the reason I sent that to you. The Attorney General of a state who was appointed to a high-up office in the Trump administration wrote that brief because my cellie is a veteran. And so that brief was so well written that you couldn't buy it for a couple $100,000 is what I'm trying to tell you. In the de facto venue of Satan, it's well done. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I understand what you're saying.
So,
you're saying if you play within the system, this is a damn good brief.
Yeah, and that brief argues guns in DiMaia.
Okay.
Now remember, you sent me a brief a while back arguing the gun issue with DiMaia, and
this call is from a federal prison.
It wasn't very well done.
Okay.
I don't know, but this brief, I'm telling you, the man that wrote this brief is trying to get the Supreme Court and the upper court to change the law for the guns. In other words, this is like a showcase to try to undo all these convictions. So that's why I really wanted you to display that brief. I want you to make it available to anybody and everybody that wants a well-written brief on that issue, because that's it.
Great. Well, I appreciate you sending that, and it's going to take me maybe today and a part of tomorrow to get all of it scanned into one file, but I'm going to work on it. Oh, I talked to Broden today, and he definitely wants to understand what this DiMaia thing is, and a short thing that I can forward him, that he can forward to his people, and I'm assuming that's what this Masterpiece 20 and 21 is all about.
Well, that's a little lengthy. I mean...
Okay, all right.
I wrote it from the religious context, but the DiMaia, I actually sent him a one-page letter talking about DiMaia.
Okay.
You know, I told you it had the name Rex on it, which you said was the wrong name.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the one pager that covered my whole story. That's what he asked me for. I didn't know he wanted something else. You know.
Yeah.
I just barely put in the mail my DiMaia brief. It's only 10 pages, and I put it in the mail just now. I actually put it in the mailbox Friday, but no mail leaves till tonight. So on Thursday of next week, you will actually have the 10-page DiMaia brief that was done for the Supreme Court by the guy that has a legal degree here, Frank. I told you about Frank. He charged me $50 to write that brief.
Right.
He took Bob's brief and rewrote it, made it stronger. Bob's brief was 3 pages. Frank's brief for the upper court is 10 pages. All we're doing is adding the DiMaia brief to the appellate court right now, because the Ninth Circuit threw it out. Remember, the Ninth Circuit wouldn't even entertain the argument, and the DiMaia brief is supposed to release me. So I'm now in the Supreme Court. I sent you that brief for the Supreme Court. You have a Supreme Court brief, and in the mail right now is a brief to the appellate court, to the upper court in Cincinnati.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to. Is that too much? You want the whole brief for DiMaia? You got my permission to just forward that to Mr. Broden. It actually it's labeled to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about 20 pages, and it was to the Supreme Court of the United States. It said 2241 on it, and it was addressed to the one Supreme Court judge, Roberts. I sent it to you a few weeks back. You got it somewhere there.
Okay. Well, if you send it to me, it's on your webpage because I don't skip anything. Anything that comes in from you goes on your webpage unless you specifically mark it private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
You don't even have to redact Knight's name. You can leave Knight's name right on that thing. It's fine with me.
Okay.
I don't. Doesn't matter. I think he's going to win that because I'm telling you, it was written by people who want it to win in the system. That's another way to say it.
Yeah, I got you. Do you think his brief will help you? Will this masterpiece brief help your case?
Not really. I'm not here for guns.
Okay. All right.
See, if you rob a bank and you have a gun, they were stacking these things like 20 years for a gun one time, 20 years for a gun another time, 20 years, and they stack all these gun deals. You get 10 years for robbing the bank, and you get 99 years for having the gun. And that's kind of vague, and it's BS, and DiMaia really should undo all that. There's nobody that should ever get a sentence without a chance for parole that's longer than 10 years, even if they legitimately are a criminal. That's just my opinion, because to put somebody in prison for 43 years when they've never done a crime is kind of extreme. You know, if I did the crime, which I didn't, I don't even have the personality of hire hitmen.
Yeah.
My personality is going out helping people.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I told you even in when they tried those people at the end of in the Nazi Germany trials, I was telling you about that. They gave all those guys 10-year sentences. So I've been here 7 years longer than a Nazi war criminal was sentenced to during the Nuremberg trials.
It's insanity, man. Insanity. I know.
And they canceled the parole. It used to be parole. If you were a good boy and did what you're supposed to do, you get in front of some regular citizens and they'd say, okay, yeah. They not only they canceled the parole, but they don't even let these inmates go take any college courses anymore. It used to be you could spend all your time in college getting degrees and bettering yourself. They're just flat throwing people into little cages and throwing the keys away.
Well, they're making money off of you guys. It's about making money.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Stefan Broden there, he says that he thinks that I should take all my stuff and go straight to a smaller country.
Get the hell out of the United States. Yeah, you're a marked man in the United States. There's obviously people in our government that have a target on you, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at it like, I got no problem leaving,
Yeah.
But here's what you need to tell Pastor Broden there. I need him to not only get me out, but he needs to tell Trump to pardon me, because I didn't do the crime, and I can't travel if I don't have a pardon. If he wants me to go, I promised him I would go to Swaziland in South Africa and take the copper over there, and
Right.
So I really need to be on the move. I don't need to be sitting here watching TV somewhere.
You don't seem to me like the kind of guy who sits around and watches a lot of TV.
I want you to know I really am angry. I'm fed up. I'm upset. I'm irritated. And I would really like, I'm a very ambitious person. On the street, I was either in my laboratory working or on the road giving lectures,
Yep.
And I was probably absolutely as successful as Mr. Trump in my own way.
Right.
So, I'm looking at it like what I would like to see is all the people that put me in prison and come and lied against me. I can prove they lied. I can prove that judge lied from the bench against me. Mr. Richard Tolman.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
I would like to see all of them put on trial for kidnapping me and slandering me and doing all this stuff against me. Because I don't think that these people saying, yeah, they had 5 people say the same thing. I don't really care if you bring in 100 people and get them all to lie. But they don't have a right. That's not evidence. To bring in a bunch of jailhouse liars and other people with the same story that's memorized. I mean, first off, the story wasn't even believable. Otherwise, the jury would have believed more of it. Think about that. Okay?
Yeah.
All those people testified that they only knew me for 15 minutes, but I instantly, in the first 15 minutes, pulled $10,000 out of my pocket in cash and tried to get them to go murder 5 people.
Insanity.
This call is from a federal prison.
That's about as believable as sitting there and, you know, of course, when you got a bunch of female Mormon jurors, you got Swisher up there saying, I murdered on the beach for my country. Really? I mean, what kind of an idiot half-wit thinks that it's murdering on the beach to defend your country?
Yeah, you would not use the word murder, right? You know, you've been in prison 15 years, and I would say that there are some people who would just tell you and advise you to let it go, that these people lied, but you just need to move on with your life. But I got to tell you, David, I really do admire the fact that you want to hold these people accountable. And if there's any way that I can help you hold these people accountable and make sure they face justice for what they've done, I want to play a role in that. Legally, you know, make sure
Let me tell you how much
Yeah.
Not only would I drop everybody's power in half, sir, I would take my $100 million a year income, and I would fund politically every candidate that wants to fix this system to quit arresting innocent people.
Amen to that. Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that.
If Trump pardons me, and I have, you know, I'm going to be a billionaire 6 months after I'm out the door.
I love your ambition, man.
If Trump would pardon me, I am willing to run for president.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay?
Yep.
You want to drain the swamp? I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah. There you go. We got to get you out of prison. And
there's a reason they put me in prison.
Yeah.
They're afraid of me.
Yeah.
When I speak, people actually believe what I say.
Well, and that's because you tell the truth.
You're going to love 20 and 21. I just now sent you 21. It covers the de facto and de jure concepts of the government. It's called, same title as the others. The reason I called it the Book of the Last Day is because the Mormons consider themselves the Latter-day Saints. Okay? You follow?
Yep.
Now, I think that people that are interested in these concepts would be part of a group called the Latter-day Christians. Not saints.
Yeah.
I think it's vain to sit here and call yourself a bunch of saints.
Yeah. I've often thought the same thing. I would need to do some research in how the Bible refers to people who believe in Jesus and follow Jesus. If the Bible refers to us as saints, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it. I would have to just find if it does not refer to us as saints, then I would have a big problem with it. I would agree with you. It's very vain. It sounds vain.
So guess what this movement is really called, according to the Spirit? I was told it's called the de jure Christian movement.
I like it.
Okay? And I don't care if the Christians or don't like it. I'm saying, here's a format. All the stuff is true that I wrote in there. Take out what you don't like. I'll help you fix it any way you want. But the bottom line is, the concepts that I'm trying to bring forward in these writings is true. And I just want people to wake up, because this book you sent me, the RoboCop book, all these cops lined up on the front cover.
Yes.
We're out of time. I love you. All this stuff goes back to the same concept, It all goes back to they're out of control.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. forward that number 21 to Mark Levin tomorrow. Send that to Mark Levin.
Okay. We love you, David. We're praying for you. Keep the fighting spirit you got. Don't ever lose that.
Okay, I love you.
Okay, we love you, David. God bless.
You.
God bless you. Bye-bye.